Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Guess what? You're running out of time. We only have 72 days left. Hey, welcome to the show. You got 72 days left. Tick tock, or the sands of time. I wrote down for you, there's 4 things that I want you to do. 4 things that if I had the good fortune to be your coach, I'm not asking for the job, you know what I'm saying. There's 4 things, starting with the number 1 question I get every day. Hey, Tom, what's everybody else doing to get more listings in the 4th quarter? Well, let me give you my advice. The same thing I've told some of the most successful agents on the planet and some brand new agents. You double down on what's working now. Yes, that's what you do. You look back to the past and say, okay, I got listings from my past clients. I got 2 from my farm. I got 1 from a referral from an agent. I got 2 online and I got 1 random, right? And I say to myself, this is where I'm getting listings, even if it's 2 or 1. And I ask myself, how can I make this better? Meaning, can I do it with greater frequency? You know, like actually call your database all the time, send the weekly email, do more posts and stay top of mind, ask people. What can I do to make it better with greater frequency? If it's working, do more of it, right? Also, can I be more consistent with it? So instead of it being once a week, can I do it every single day? As an example, the bottom line is this. Where people are crushing it right now is, yes, we're all searching for what are those 3, 4, 5 new listing pillars we want to add into our business, but those are for 2021. Everything takes time. Right now, you got to double down on what's working. So promise me you're going to double down on what's working, because that's where people are killing it right now. Number 2, it's going to sound funny, but I'm going to make a statement to you and you know it's true. You do not have enough positive reviews on your Google page, your Facebook page, or your Zillow page. You do not have enough positive reviews for how much goodwill and hard work you brought into 2020. Think about the phone calls you made in March. Think about the people you helped in April. Think about all of a sudden the buyers you were working with back again in May, June, July. And if you just reflect on how much goodwill you put in the marketplace, especially if you were doing the things that we were discussing, making the phone calls, not are you curious about the value of your home, but how can I help you? If you were doing that, I promise you, you should have way more reviews on your page. So I'm challenging you in the 4th quarter to ask. I want an email to go to every person in your database saying, hey, thanks so much for just being you and being a part of my community. If you haven't taken the time to write a review on your experience in working with me here on Google, here's the link. Would you take 5 minutes and go out of your way to do so? I promise you, you might say, I'm not sending that to my entire database. I'm only going to send it to this select people. Great. My point is, we are in the review economy, just like we're in the experience economy. More on that later. But when people read those reviews, they connect the dots and they say, I see her on social. I got that postcard. I saw her, her sold sign recently. Then they go and they check you out and they read these reviews. And you know what we do? We say, wow, those people are just like me. I can relate. If they're like me and they like her, I like her, and they call you. You simply do not have enough reviews. Set an intention between now and the end of the year to double the number of reviews you have and spread them across Facebook, Yelp, maybe not Yelp, but you know what I mean if you're a Yelper, you're into it. Google, absolutely, and of course, Zillow. So that's number 2. Number 3 is a big one. You ready? I want you to perform a marketing audit on your entire business. Let me explain. Sometimes I'll get a postcard from somebody and then I'll go to their landing page, their website, and the photo is different. And the fonts are different. And even sometimes their brand is different. It's a different color. And then I notice that sometimes over here they say, follow me on Instagram, but over here they've got Facebook, LinkedIn, and everything else. And what happens is you actually create brand confusion. What we want is people to say, I see you everywhere. How do they do that? If the photo's different, if the phone number's different, if the look and feel, the color schemes are different, if it isn't unified across all the social channels, your website, your email, your listing presentation, everything, I'm going to take you through the whole list, then you're actually creating brand confusion. So here's what I'm looking for. You ready? I want it to be the same everywhere I see you, everywhere I can, engage with you. So start with all of your social sites. So YouTube, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and Twitter, same photo. The bio needs to be updated, and it should be the same across all of them. Does every one of them allow you to link back to your website or wherever you want them to be? Maybe it's Linktree, right, Courtney, if you're going to be on Instagram as an example. The point is, it's probably been a while since you freshened everything up. When you do it once across all of them so it's all unified. Number 2, I wrote down same thing on all the portals. When was the last time you looked at your video on, let's say, Zillow as an example? Have you gone through and looked at all the different referral sites that I've mentioned to you repeatedly on the Tom Ferry Show and through our events to make sure name, company, cities you serve, email, cell phone, all of your social channels, your bio, everything is there. So when people find you, they find you. And it's that same beautiful you, that same beautiful experience everywhere I go. Obviously your website, same thing. Next thing is all your marketing assets. Is it time for you to get a new photo and use that across the board? Does your logo need to be refreshed? What about the fonts you use? It's funny that I'll go to, again, I mentioned that postcard, the font is Helvetica, then I go over here and it's different, it's not. So which font is the font you use? If you look at our stuff, you're gonna see it's similar everywhere you go, if not exactly the same everywhere you go, because I want people to say, that's Tom Ferry, right? That's the Tom Ferry look, I get it. Does that make sense? Now, addition to that, I said to you, I want you to do a marketing audit, which means I also want you to go through your listing presentation, right, from beginning to end, to make sure it's lined up with everything that happened this year. And going into 2021, what's the look, what's the feel, what's the experience? Do the photos need to be upgraded? Is it on your laptop? Is it still in print? Is it digital? Like, how do you deliver it? Making it beautiful, relevant, and fresh. Same thing with your buyer consultation. Same exact thing across the board. So you know what this looks like? It's a Tuesday morning that you scheduled off because you watched my last week's show and you said, I got 79 days left, and you told me I got to do ABC 1, 2, 3 and I got to schedule my time. And you know what I do? I print everything off and I just put it all over my dining room table. You with me? So I take my screenshot of my Facebook page, screenshot of my Instagram page, screenshot of my YouTube channel, and I just lay it all out and I'm like, that's off, this is off. And I just start circling, right? And now I know I've got to go back and clean it all up. Does that make sense? Courtney's over there going, you're not going to clean it up. I'm going to clean it up. Thank you, Courtney. I love you. All right. Listing presentation, buyer consultation. The last one is your email newsletter, your direct mail pieces, right? Any print stuff that you do, everything. Brand audit, brand audit. Now, the goal is that your brand is on point. Now, I know you could stop right there because that's a big project and it is something you need to do at the end of this year to be ready for next year, because your brand is on steroids. You're a Tom Ferry client. You're doing all the right stuff. You're shooting all the videos. You're doing everything you need to do. Let's make sure your brand is matching your credibility and your skill and your savvy and your care for your customers. All right, last thing on my list. I wrote down very importante. You need to create what we call the 2020 social proof piece. Let me explain. Again, like we talked about reviews as an example, when I said you don't have enough reviews, well, what if I told you one of the single greatest marketing pieces you can have, whether it's a big postcard, a trifold, put into an email, and a social post, and maybe all of the above. I'd like to thank all of the families that allowed me to help them during a challenging year buy and sell real estate. And with clients' permission, could you imagine, instead of just the house, you had the photo of the family or the couple or the individual and maybe a little blurb about what they did, and you mix that up with all the houses of the people like, now I don't want my photo on there. You're like, that's totally great because I don't need them all. And you have photos and houses, 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 and this big trifold brochure or this big, 2-page deal that you can mail to your farm, that you can mail to your database. And what's the note? You say, I just want to thank everybody for letting me into your life, myself and my team, into your life and helping you with your real estate and home ownership goals in such a challenging challenging year, right? Something like that or something better. My point to you is this. If you do that and then you back it up with a page or two of reviews, it could just be little snippets, right? Like, when you see the movies are like, amazing, best film of the year, all those little snippets with those clients' names, all of that piece designed however you see fit, mailed, emailed, maybe shoot a video about it, absolutely text it out. Of course, you're going to put it on every social channel. The bottom line is this, you're adding that social proof element, which is how many customers decide, right? I look at your reviews, then I see how many houses you've sold. You and I both know if you add a map of all those transactions, some of you longtime Tom Ferry clients thought I was going to forget the map. Hello, this is not my first show. All the photos, all the houses, a couple reviews, and then the map showing your reach. Maybe even a map of all of Canada or all of Europe or all of the US or all of Mexico. And you're showing also don't think I forgot about you, Australia, New Zealand, you know what I'm saying, around the world, all the referrals you sent as well. What a powerful marketing piece that will be, showing people who you are, the difference you make, how much you care, and how hard you work to help others achieve their goals with their real estate. So those are my 4 things. Little longer show. TikTok, TikTok. You got 72 days left between now and the end of the year. Let's get to work. How you finish is how you start. And I'm expecting you to close out this year strong and make 2021 absolutely bananas. I'll see you soon.